Okay, this meeting is being live streamed because we only have a half hour. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, I have Guru Prasad Maharaj has arranged for me to speak with the devotees in Latin America. It starts at 8:30. So I should.
Wonderful. Okay, this meeting is being live streamed because we only have a half hour. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, Guru Prasad Maharaj has arranged for me to speak with the devotees in Latin America. It starts at 8:30. So I should.
Wonderful. Okay, this meeting is being live streamed because we only have a half hour. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, Guru Prasad Maharaj has arranged for me to speak with the devotees in Latin America. It starts at 8:30. So I should.
Wonderful. Okay, this meeting is being live streamed because we only have a half hour. Is that correct? Okay, excuse me for all of that confusion.
No problem, bro.
All right. So, Mahotsaha Prabhu. Yes, I'd like to cover a lot of ground. I listened to almost two of your videos yesterday evening, so I took a few notes and I have a lot of questions for you. Is that all right?
Yes, Prabhu. Just do you mind if I just say a quick Mangalacharan before we start?
Yes, please go for it.
Om Agyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshtamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vishpadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vikas Swaminati Namane Nijaguru Anya Krishna Chitto Vichinto Parihita Katrike Hatyanda Samsara Krupaha Vajna Sakabdo Majayan Samsa Vishwa Bhuvijayati Vikaso Bhakti Puru Vetindraha Nama Krishna Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swaminati Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshtarine Vagishaya Shivadane Lakshmi Yasya Chivakshati Yasyasti Hridaya Samritam Samaham Bhaje Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes,
Jai Prabhu. So you are coming to us from Atlanta.
Yeah.
What part of Atlanta is that? How far from the Ponce de Leon temple is that?
It's about 10 miles.
Okay. Other side of town. Kind of.
Yes. It's in Southwest Atlanta. It's 8 minutes away from the Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport.
Sounds like it's very convenient for book distribution.
Yes, Prabhuji, it really is.
I was hearing last night, you were saying, I can't remember, someone was saying, isn't O'Hare Airport still one of the biggest? And you said, no, this Atlanta airport is actually one of the most.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'd just like to get a little background from you, Prabhu. You're obviously from an Indian family.
Yeah.
Maybe a South Indian family.
Most certainly, yeah.
Okay. And were you born in America or you were born in India?
I was born in India. I lived there for the first 17 years of my life. At 17, I got a partial scholarship in New York University. And I went to do my undergraduate studies over there.
Okay.
So that's when I moved to America.
Okay. And is that where you first... Go ahead.
I don't know if you remember, like I was a brand new bhakta. I was at the age of, I was probably 19, maybe like 19 and a half. You had did the NYC Harinam Ashram. You were there.
Oh.
Adikarta Prabhu was also there, and I met you over there at that time.
Okay. Which other Prabhu was there?
Adikarta Prabhu.
Adikarta. Okay. The book distributor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. And were you distributing books at that time, or you were mostly?
Yeah, that's the only thing I was trying to be useful for.
Okay. So who was the first devotee that you met?
And
where were you? Were you going to school at that time and you met a book distributor, or?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, I've had a few interactions with devotees. I mean, my father did join me in a bhakti camp in ISKCON Secunderabad when I was 8 years old.
Oh, nice.
That was my first interaction with Krishna consciousness. And I did take it pretty seriously for maybe 2 years. I learned quite a few shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita. And, I used to chant some rounds here and there, but by the age of 14, I was completely absorbed in the demoniac way of life. And all the way until 19, I was doing nonsense activities. And I remember one time I was coming back from NYU, and it was during the summertime. And I went to NYU to study computer science, because I was also doing a minor in music. So I was I also got certified by Paul McCartney's music school. It's called London College of Music. So
Wow.
I used to play bass and guitar, and I used to have a band. And so my whole livelihood, not livelihood, but the way I was always just keeping myself, I was really absorbed in listening to music and playing music a lot. So one day my iPod, I used to have an iPod. I don't know if we have them anymore, but I used to have an iPod, and it ran out of battery. So I couldn't listen to music anymore. So I was just walking down in Union Square Park. I heard the Cartels, and then at that point of time, I was like, wow, that sounds really, there's like a blast from the past. It all just came back to me. And I went and I saw the devotees performing Harinam, and when I saw them there, I basically decided that this is what I've been looking for. Because I was and am, and I hope to always be a very intense person. And I was looking basically for a party that never stopped. And in Atlanta, there's a saying, and so in Atlanta, we tell all the people who come to our program that ain't no party like a Hare Krishna party, because a Hare Krishna party don't stop. I want,
Love it.
so I wanted to, just get into it. So I saw like, wow, this is it. This is the life I've been looking for, and this is what I need to do. And I just decided to join. And then, I was fortunate. I had the association of many senior devotees. When I first came, I was primarily very inspired by Ram Roy Prabhu. He was a devotee who's in New York. And Deva Madhava Prabhu, he was very kind upon me. He actually got me to a Pani Hati festival in Atlanta back then. I never thought I'd end up here, but he got me here. And it was very nice. And then, I just got into it. There were other Prabhupada disciples who were very kind to me. Jayadvaita Maharaj, Abhiram Prabhu, and so many Prabhupada disciples who came through New York, especially Chandrasekhar Swami Maharaj. He was, he holds such a dear place in my heart. He really, really looked after me so much when I was brand new. He really gave me out of his mercy. So like that, I was many Vaishnavas were very kind upon me.
You are a real mercy case. You receive
Oh,
so much mercy from so many wonderful Vaishnavas.
yeah, I can't deny it. Yeah.
And I was appreciating how your father and mother, they had to have been pious people. I mean, wow, there
Yeah.
you are, 8 years old. Where was this bhakti camp held?
This was in ISKCON Secunderabad.
Okay, that's in
Yeah.
the south.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's in South India. Hyderabad. I don't know. Maybe you heard of the name.
Yeah, I heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very close to there. My parents. I was born in a Sri Vaishnava family,
Oh, wow.
and
You got the
and
head
I,
start. Yeah.
yeah, and I got was on a samashram. Like I got branded. With the
Oh, yeah. That's pretty
yeah
intense.
yeah. At the age of 5, I was really young.
Ouch, ouch.
Yeah, and I was the first in line, so it was really I was the hardest too. But
Well, I was going to say you've got a lot of early samskaras, but I don't think it gets more hot than more intense than having a brand of Lord Vishnu on your
yeah,
body.
2 of them too. It's not there anymore. My skin has grown over so much. I
Right.
5, but
So wow. So what was the bhakti camp? Was it a week long? Was it a weekend?
I think as far as my memory serves, it was probably like a month or something, because I need
Okay.
it was maybe a little bit more than that. So I would love listening to the Bhagavad Gita classes, and yeah, Bhagavad Gita classes and shlokas and japa and kirtan and
And then they probably had stuff just for that kids like to do, running and jumping, and mixed in
yeah.
with.
I wasn't into that.
Okay.
I thought I'm in the temple, and I can't be like, if I can't be frivolous, so like trying to hang out with the big boys, as much as possible. I played once, and I tried to play once, and the teacher like kind of chastised me, so I was like really embarrassed, and I didn't do it again.
You did what with the teacher? Sorry.
I was playing once, and I was creating a big ruckus, and then
Okay. Okay.
one of the Matajis in the temple, she like chastised me, and
Uh-huh.
and I thought like, okay, yeah, I should not behave like this in the temple.
Uh-huh. Very interesting to hear that you have I mean you and I we share a love of music. I myself used to be in bands, sing and play before I joined. And so I that impresses me even more because the tendency when you're a musician is you want to just focus on, playing the mridanga, going on harinam, and
Mm.
not necessarily be fully absorbed in book distribution, but somehow or other you tore yourself away from this strong attraction to music, graduating from
Yeah,
Paul McCartney's college to just because that takes a lot of work to not want to get into all the music, right?
yeah. It was actually Krishna's mercy. He forced it on me because I was just getting off of certain intoxicants when I had joined when
Yeah.
I joined and I couldn't really like play percussion for the death of me to keep a beat. I mean, I could like play stringed instruments, no problem, but
Right.
I couldn't, keep a beat, and my voice was too like hoarse from all the other substances that I was taking. So I remember just trying to sit on the mat and play the shakers and chant, and then Ram Roy Prabhu was just like, "Get out there!" Like he's a very intense person, and I said, "He's like, get out there now! Like, what do you want me to do?" He's like, "Distribute books. I've never done it." He said, "Just do it. Don't think, just do." I said, "Okay, all right." And my
Wow.
yeah, fresh off the bat, I think I distributed around 44 books, and they were all
Wow.
really shocked, like, "Oh my god, this guy is good." And then I just thought it was like a one day thing, and the next day I was sitting on the mat, like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh man."
It's a good thing you didn't have a very big false ego, otherwise you might have, like, wait,
No,
why are you
I
talking?
always, you see, I had like respect for the sadhus, I mean, they just,
Uh-huh.
I guess it's a favorable conditioning. I always like, okay, if the sadhu is telling you something, you just don't talk back, be humble, no matter how much they chastise you, it's for your own. That's like kind of inculcated, in you, like if you're in Sri Vaishnava family, and stuff like that. So that
Yeah.
sadhu is telling you something, you have to like, no, that's it.
Yeah. Your story is even more inspiring to hear that in spite of coming from such, from a Vaishnava family, wow, what a wonderful birth
But now
compared.
they became, but over the period of time, they became like influenced by Mayavadis, and now they're like a mix of a whole lot of other things. But
Wow, even though you've gotten so absorbed in Gaudiya Vaishnavism.
yeah, now they're slowly coming back. Now, like
Okay.
my auntie is also distributing books, and you
Oh,
they're trying their best. Yeah, they're kind of proud of me. So like they're into it. So,
yeah. Devarshi Putaptandranam Pitranam
you know.
Nakinkaro Nayamari Charajan. Your your parents gave you blessings and you're giving blessings back.
I'm no one to bless, but yeah,
And I was just thinking how powerful those little ching 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 kartals are.
yeah,
How
yeah,
many stories of devotees hearing the ching 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 and
yeah,
getting mystically pulled to where the ching 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 is, and then
yeah,
their life completely changes. Very
yeah,
powerful. Yeah, Ram Roy Prabhu, I know very well. He came to Canada to distribute books in Ottawa for some time, and yeah, I love him. I have a lot of affection for his dedication to the Harinam, which of course means books and more devotees being made. So that's a great beginning that you got
yeah.
there. And yeah, okay, so all right, that's great to hear about your background. And so then at one point you just decided to drop out of you were taking music and what, engineering or
Yeah,
something?
my mom would kill me if I dropped down. In drop out. I finished school. I was distributing books 6 hours, and I was going to school for 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And I went to school dressed like this.
Wow.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I just didn't give a fig about what people thought.
That's
It was
great.
New York, in New York City. Who cares, No,
Anyone can get away with anything. Anyone.
I just go in there like this, and I get to play like I could milk the minority card like anything whenever I felt like, So that was good. It was like a well thought out, So
My
But
godbrother Anutama Prabhu, I believe he lives in the Washington D.C. area. He, when he was a young boy, a high school boy, he would go in tilak
yeah, and
dhoti.
he used to have the big circle glasses. I've seen him.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So that must have been interesting. You could, I guess, you saw people getting polarized instantly. Those who were favorable to
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no one would come offer me a joint anymore. Like like I wouldn't. None of the, I mean, none of the Matajis would like, that whole thing was just blocked off.
Huh.
Being in NYU, and if you're in NYU and you're a straight man, you've already won 60% of the race because most of the men are gay. You know.
Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then on top of that, if you're a musician and you're a little outlandish, there's no dearth of how degraded a person can get with the opposite sex. So that was my history. But then like once I went like this, that was, like no one approached me. And it was great for me. It was really, and those who like, either like, whoever approached me, actually, you're not your body, like, why don't you buy these books, blah, blah, blah. And like, and then like, they're in or out, this or that.
Lord Ram put his protective circle around you.
Yeah, this was like my kavach. I would just go there, and
Wonderful.
every student in the class ate prasadam. All of them heard the holy name. Every teacher I've ever been with, had the cheesecake that Mother Satya made.
Wow.
She's a queen of cooking. That I've met. But Radharani, of course, is the queen and all that. But like, she's my mom. She really gave me so much mercy. Mother, if it wasn't for Satya Mataji, I would not be here. She gave me so much of her mercy. She fed me like so much prasadam, which helped me stay. So all of them, all my teachers and all the students in the class, they all got prasadam. They all got books. And it just went like this.
Wow. It's so touching to the heart to hear your gratitude for Mother Satya and so many other
Oh
devotees.
my God. Like I still call her up and like, I really miss her. I miss so many things about New York, but I miss her and another devotee, Kalia Krishna Prabhu. He was also so merciful to me. Kalia Krishna Prabhu, yeah, you know him probably.
Yes, he was putting up every day
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
movies of the New York Harinam party.
Yeah, yeah. And he was so merciful to me. Satya Mataji is so merciful to me. Like I miss both of them the most, you know.
That's
And
wonderful. That it hearing your gratitude helps me to reflect how I have so many God brothers and God sisters to be grateful to over the years. Yeah, matter of
yeah.
fact, I felt so much gratitude that 12 years ago I started searching. Jayadvaita Swami contacted me that he was starting a new book, Srila Prabhupada Tributes, a
Mm.
Vyasa Puja book for all Prabhupada disciples to write for. And so I started searching for Prabhupada disciples, and I managed to find 917 of them on Facebook.
Amazing.
Yeah, and
Amazing.
I created a group for them. So I'm looking forward to sharing this little interview with them. So I have a lot of ground to cover with you. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I remember back in the day, I can't remember if it was Panchatattva Prabhu. I'm speaking about prior to Srila Prabhupada's departure. I think it was Panchatattva Prabhu. He had distributed like 7 or 800, close to 800, but not quite 800 books in a day, and that was considered mind-blowing, record-breaking.
Mm.
Um, do you know who that Prabhupada disciple was? Do you
Yeah,
remember?
yeah, yeah. He's very much involved in in the Mayapur temple, and like he's got like he sings, and like he's got like his wife is from Australia, right? And she was just shooting books in Australia. But is it
Okay.
Pancharatna Prabhu? Sorry, I'm probably thinking. I,
Oh
I
no,
don't
I
know
thought it
Panchatattva
was
Prabhu.
Panchatattva. I don't think it was
No, no,
Pancharatna was
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
college
I
Okay.
don't know Panchatattva Prabhu.
But in the interview I heard last night, you were mentioning Harinamananda Prabhu.
Yeah, yeah.
So I remember back in the 80s hearing of these unbelievable devotees, Navina Nirada Prabhu and Harinamananda, and I'm wondering who are these demigods that are distributing tons of
Yeah.
Harikesh Prabhu's students, his disciples at that time.
Mm.
And so yeah, you became inspired, and also with the inspiration of Bhakti Vikas Swami, I with Krishna's mercy, with Lord Chaitanya's mercy, I think I can break that. I'm gonna make set that
Yeah.
aside.
Hmm.
And you broke it a few times over. When I was hearing you did 1,458 with the help of Bhakta Matthew, I think.
Yeah, he's Matsya Das.
Yeah, very nice. He got initiated. Yeah. So I used to be like a Bhakta Matthew in the sense that as Bhakta Glenn, I used to go with Tripurari Swami, Sura Swavas, Vaisheshika Prabhu, Divyanga, Manasuta, with these great Sankirtan Maharatis, Gopal
Wow.
Prabhu, and I was the gopher. I would go for this and go for that. I would load up the van every morning, and I would get the books into the lockers, and then take the dolly from the lockers and get the books onto the floor, get the prasadam. So I was your Bhakta. I was a Bhakta Matthew in the beginning. And if there was some spare time, I would try to do 10 or 15 big books. And I was amazed that, Krishna allowed me to do that. So I remember being infected by those Sankirtan Maharatis. And that's why I contacted you today, because I wanted to get reinfected.
Hare Krishna.
so,
You
so,
probably get contaminated.
well, I welcome that contamination. Bring it on, bring it on.
Yeah.
And so then I was hearing that you went on to do over 3,000 books in one day.
Yeah, it was so it went from 1,458 to like 1,500 to 2,002 to 3,004 to 3,546. And then in October, it was 4,092.
Wow. I mean, you must have chanted really great japa on those days.
Okay, let me be honest with you. My spiritual master was here, Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. He was here.
Yes.
And I thought, my Guru Maharaj is here and I'm not breaking the world. Like, what am I doing with my life? So then, before I left, I wanted to show, like some of the things I really hold very dear, like are the Sankirtan vans that we have. So I was showing, Maharaj all the Sankirtan vans that we have. And, I showed him one van laid out with like a whole, basically like when we go on book distribution, especially on a Bhagavatam run, I just have like a van full of Srimad Bhagavatam sets. It's a big Mercedes Sprinter van. And he's like, wow, it's going to be empty today. We're like, oh, now it's going to be empty. Now that you said it's going to be empty for sure, And then like, I just fixed my mind on it and I just kept going at it. And Krishna's mercy, it's really Krishna's mercy. Books were just flying out, It's like distributing books that day, I probably collected close to like $20,000 just distributing.
My Lord.
Just going as crazy as possible.
My Lord. What time did you start and where did you go?
I start as early as I possibly can. I went to an Indian grocery store called Patel Brothers. So I wanted to have some home team advantage, So I went there and I set up a book table there. Not it's not like when you say book table, devotees have like a certain idea of it. Like when I say book table, it's basically like a table to hold books for me. And and I just I just went there and I worked. How many hours was it? 10. It opened, the store opens, I think it's 10 o'clock. So I went there at 9:30. So from maybe around 9:30 to 8:30, 9:30 to 8:30, like 8:45. Yeah, I work. I work. If I go to a spot, I work it until not a single soul is left there. And
Wow, wow. So, just for, people who may want to get reinfected with the Sankirtan fever, or even for newcomers for that matter, I just want to make it easy for them. There you are, you're standing by a book table. Does this have books just sitting flat, or is there
no. I could send you some pictures, but like
Yeah, yeah, at another date, sure.
yeah, I will certainly.
So,
I
yeah.
basically have when I have my book table, I basically have the Bhagavatam like set up, and I love personally. I love distributing the 44 volume Bhagavatam sets. That's actually what was the game. That really changed the game for me. It was a game changer for me. The 44 volume sets. The minute I saw the 44 volume sets, like, this is the way you're going to break the record over and over again. I had the 44 volume Srimad Bhagavatam set, and I set it up. And I have a picture of Nrsimhadev, like
Yes.
tearing apart the Hiranyakashipu, and I just like, whoever I meet, I just show them the Bhagavatam and then I sell it to them. And then the minute I sell it to them, I have like two carts filled with Bhagavatams on each side. And I just take one set and or I take a set of Matthew, or like I even have another devotee. His name is Bhakta Tyrese. We call him Tata because he helps the Bhagavatam fly. So like he takes the Bhagavatams and he puts it in the person's car or whatever, and he loads me up. He keeps loading me up over and over again.
Wow. This is one of the best examples I've ever heard of where Srila Prabhupada said in the back of the car, Satsarup Maharaj was there, and a few others, that your love for me will be showing how nicely you can cooperate together to keep this institution together after I am gone. So this spirit of cooperation is a big topic, but here is a wonderful practical example of devotees cooperating together to get out maximum books, everyone playing their part. So as people are going by, listening to you, I can tell because I remember when I was doing full-time book distribution, that Prabhupada told Tripurari Swami, because devotees are asking me, what's my technique? And Prabhupada said, the technique is hearing and chanting, and that every devotee has his own individual genius. In other words, Krishna, Paramatma in the heart, he's giving the intelligence. So one of the keys to distributing books, I'm preaching to the choir right now, is, when we love these books, when we're reading these books, then the natural response to being absorbed in these books is we want these books to go out. We want other people to get them.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. Just chanting good rounds. It boils down to that. So many times people ask Srila Prabhupada, you're so successful, and then he said the secret's in the bead bag. That's
right.
Secret is in the bead bag. It really is. It's not what you say, it's what you pray. A God mine, Srila Prabhu, he told me that it's not what you say, it's what you pray.
Who was saying that?
I have a god brother, Amoglila.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. So, all right. Just imagine I'm a Mr. Patel or whoever, and I'm about to go into the store. So you would just flag people down?
I never hit anyone going in the store. I always hit them out.
Okay. That's wise. Yeah. So as they're coming out of the store, what would be one of the first things you might say to them?
Anything, literally. I don't have a set script per se.
I know you're very spontaneous.
I just, whatever I see, I'm like, wow, sir, like, where are you from? Gujarat? Your name is Patel? Oh, you're Mr. Patel who owns Patel Brothers? And they start laughing, and then like, just get into it like that. Or, hey, Bombay, wow, you guys got the best beat, Juhu, or like, whatever it may be,
Right. Sure. As Prabhupada said, he quoted Prabhupada Saraswati, that you flatter them. You tell them.
He sadhava sakala eva vihaya durat gauranga chanda charane kurutanuraga. That means, sir, you're so intelligent, you're so learned, you're so amazing, you're so wonderful. Everything about you is so fantastic. But a humble request to you is you kindly forget all your hogwash and surrender to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's my technique.
So, okay. Yes, no, wonderful. No, I know you got it down. So, all right. How much is this set? Because I overheard you saying there's an 18-volume Bhagavatam set and there's a 44-volume Bhagavatam set. So what are the prices of those two, the wholesale price?
The wholesale price is just like it's between $160 to $170, depending on where you are and how many orders, shipping, and all that, adds up. So, I usually do double BBT, so I sell each set for around $308 to $350 each.
And so how do you convince them on the spot to give, like, that's a good chunk of change?
Not really. It's not a big amount. Like if you look at the cars they drive, if you look at the phones they have, everyone has $300. There's so many people I meet have $300. It's just that they have, especially it's just, the due to like, whatever financial situation, people like to spend money and all this stuff even, So $300 is no big deal actually for people.
So you glorify the Bhagavatam, tell them you have to have this in your home.
Yeah, and I also tell them, we have this beautiful temple that we are building, and if you donate for the temple, I'm also going to give you some books, and I have a whole thing that I do. Also, Prabhu, I do have to leave in about a minute because I have.
Okay, tell me quickly, how many different categories of sets of books do you have? There was the Shapta
Okay,
Risi.
okay. So I primarily have two sets of books. So one is the Saptarishi set, which is all, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam 1.1, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of Devotion, Krishna book, Bhagavad Gita hardbound, and the Science of Self-Realization. And now we keep the Ramayana in there, my spiritual master Bhakti Ramayana, so we keep that in there. And then there's the Bhakti stack, which is a small stack of books like Bhagavad Gita, Science of Self-Realization. Those two are always common, and then like we change it up. Like we sometimes have the Sri Ishopanishad, the Nectar of Instruction, or we have the Coming Back and the Ishopanishad, or something like this. And we have
Chant Be Happy sometime.
Huh?
Chant and Be
And
Happy.
Be Happy, not so often, because like the book is a little longer than all the other books. It's hard to keep in the stack.
Okay. Higher Tastes sometimes. Not so much.
No.
Yeah. Beyond Birth and Death, Perfection of Yoga.
Yeah, all those books are small books sometimes. When we really
nice.
We could reschedule. We could reschedule. It's the other meeting starts in 4 minutes, and I've scheduled it with me like a month ago. So I
Please say some closing word. It's Christmas marathon time, and devotees all around the world will hopefully hear this. Is there something you'd like to say to the devotees?
Yeah, don't think, just do. Get off the mental platform. Prabhupada took so many austerities just for our sake. So it's about time that we take some austerities, at least to a small degree, to please Srila Prabhupada.
Jai, I'm so grateful that I've had this time with you.
Prabhu, thank you. We could reschedule, and we could probably have a longer session or whatever.
I've got tons of questions for you. So,
so I'll message you on Facebook, and then we can
be continued.
Off of Facebook. I'll message you on Messenger, and then we could set proper time.
But I think these little 40-minute sessions, they're good, because if they're too long, sometimes you lose devotees. So this is perfect.
True. Okay, let's do it. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so
much. Accept my respectful obeisances. Mahotsaha Prabhu Namo Nama. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Take it over the world. Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai.
Jai.
All right. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Haribol. All glories to your